Hello everyone, so we're going to be starting the next section. So we're going to finish up section 1 with domain and then talk about operations and composition of functions from section 2. So finishing up section 1.1, when we want to state the domain of each function. So what we're really trying to do is eliminate things that cause problems. So if we look at that first problem, what would be something that would cause an issue? So take a moment to look at that, pause the video if you want to. So an issue with a fraction is that we can never divide by 0, so denominators can't be 0. So for this function to exist, that means that x plus 1 could not be equal to 0, or x is not equal to negative 1. So taking a look at that second one, it also means that x squared minus 4 cannot be equal to 0. And if I factor that, we've got x plus 2 times x minus 2 cannot be equal to 0, which means x cannot be plus or minus 2. But looking at that second one, it has that radical in there. And if you remember from radicals, we cannot take the square root of a negative. So radicand, which is that number inside the radicand cannot be negative. So that means it can be 0 or it can be greater than 0. So that means that radicand x plus 4 has to be greater than or equal to 0, or x has to be greater than or equal to 4. So the first one would be x such that x is not equal to negative 1. And the second one would be x such that x is greater than or equal to negative 4 and x is not equal to plus or minus 2. Now you might see this colon here. This is the way that I learned it when I was in high school. The book has it with a straight line and it doesn't bother me which way you want to use. All right, so stepping into section 2, operations with functions, and these may look like the same equation, but they're really not. So this is saying if I'm adding these two functions together, I can take the first function and add it to the second function and I get the same value. Similarly with subtraction, multiplication, and division. So if I'm going too fast, go ahead and pause the video and copy those down and then play it when you're ready. But I'm going to go ahead and move forward. So if these numbers are too hard to see, I did give you a PDF of these notes that were fill in the blank, so you can use that. So I want you to notice in the directions, they told us what f of x was equal to, and they told us what g of x was equal to. And then they wanted us to find the sum of f and g. So what we said was that's the same as f of x plus g of x. So now I can do the substituting. So we said f of x was equal to 2x squared plus 8, and g of x was equal to 5x minus 6. Okay, so because I don't have anything in front of this parentheses, it's okay to just drop those parentheses. And since I only have an invisible 1 in front of those parentheses, I could drop them as well. So I'm just going to combine like terms. So I have a 2x squared, I have a 5x, and then positive 8 plus negative 6 gives me positive 2. And so this would be the sum of f and g. So take a moment and pause the video and see if you could do the second example. So just like we said in the notes, this is going to be f of x minus g of x. And so this is going to be 2x squared plus 8 minus 5x minus 6. Now you'll notice we have this negative in front of this parentheses. So that's like having a negative 1 right in front of those parentheses. So that means that before I can combine my like terms, I have to distribute that negative 1 right here. So that means that I have 2x squared plus 8. Since that only had a positive 1 in front, we're good. Then distributing the negative 1, I get a negative 5x and I get a positive 6. So cleaning that up, I get 2x squared, I get negative 5x, and I get plus 14. So if you're feeling confident, go ahead and pause the video and try number 3. If not, you can follow along with me. So we said that this is going to be f of x times g of x. And so coming over here, that means that that's going to be 2x squared plus 8, and that's going to be times 5x minus 6. So again, if you're more comfortable with the box method, you could do a box and you can put a 2x squared here and a plus 8, and you could put a 5x here and a -6, and you can do your box method, but I'm going to go ahead and do the FOIL method. They're both the same. So if I distribute the 2x squared to the 5x, that gives me 10x cubed. And then distributing the 2x squared to the outer, which is -6, is going to give me -12x squared. And then to my inner, 8 times 5x is going to give me 40x. And then my last +8 times -6 is -48. So this is the product of the two. And then for the last one, this is the same as saying f of x over g of x. So that's going to be 2x squared plus 8 over 5x minus 6. And so even if I factor a 2 out of here, we get 2 times x squared plus 4, but there is no common denominator in the bottom. I'm sorry, a common factor in the bottom. And so we can actually leave it like this. This is the simplified form because nothing was able to cancel in the bottom one. So a composition of functions is when a function is performed and the result is used in a second function. So it's kind of like a function within a function. So we're going to see it written as, it almost looks like fog, because that open circle, it's not a closed one. If that was closed, that would be multiplication, but because it's open, it's composition. So we would call that f composition g of x. And the way you want to think about it is x is your domain, and then you're going to take x and you're going to plug it into the g function because g is closest to x. And then what you get is g of x. So this would be considered the range for the g function. But then it becomes the domain for the f function. So if we plug that into the f function, we get f of what we would have gotten for g of x, okay? And so we could say that the composition, f composition g of x, is equal to f of g of x. So if you take a look at the examples, notice it asks for two answers. So one is f composition g of x, and one is g composition f of x, given my f of x and my g of x. So just to give you a hint, the function is not commutative. You can't change those. So for the first one, if I do f composition g of x, just like we said on the other slide, since g is closest, we're going to start with g of x, and then we're going to plug that into the f function. So this is just a substitution where I see g of x, which is here, right? That means that I can substitute. So I can say that I have f of and then x minus 3. And then just like yesterday's homework, that means wherever I see x in my f function, I'm going to substitute it with x minus 3. So this becomes x minus 3 plus 5. And if I clean that up, that's going to be x plus 2. So my f composition g of x is equal to x plus 2. So I have one of the answers. Now I need to do the second answer. So this is where I switch my functions, and I'm going to do g composition f of x. So now the f part is closest to x, and I want to substitute that into the g function. So my f of x is equal to x plus 5, and that's what I want to substitute for this value here. So that means that I have g of x plus 5. Again, just substituting for the f of x. So that means in my g function, wherever I see x, I'm going to substitute x plus 5. And then when I plug that in, that gives me g composition f of x is equal to x plus 2. So as you can see, in this case, it was commutative, but it isn't always. So I'm going to go a little bit out of order, and we're going to step down here to number 7 just to make sure that I have enough time. So in question number 7, if I do f composition g of x, that means that I'm going to do g is closest, so I'm going to do g of x and then plug that into f. So my g of x, sorry about the slippery paper there, my g of x is 2x minus 3. So that means substituting, I'm going to get f of and then 2x minus 3. So that means in my f function, wherever I see x, I'm going to substitute 2x minus 3. So I'm going to have 2 times 2x minus 3 squared minus 5 times 2x minus 3 and then plus 1. So we're going to have to FOIL this one. So this becomes 2 times, and I get 2x minus 3 times itself. Because square means multiply it to itself, right? And so then if I start to FOIL, we get 2 times, and then my first is going to give me 4x squared. My outer, 2x times negative 3, is negative 6x. My inner, negative 3 times 2x, is going to give me negative 6x. And my last is going to give me negative 3 times negative 3, which is positive 9. So I apologize, I had a little visitor, so I'm going to keep going from here. All right, so if I go ahead and distribute that 2, that gives me 8x squared. That gives me negative 12x, negative 12x, and positive 18. By the way, you could have combined those negative 6x's first if you wanted to. Distributing the negative 5, I get negative 10x, and I get positive 15, and then I've got this 1 out by itself. So when I put all these together, we've got 8x squared, and then I've got negative 24 plus negative 10 gives me negative 34x. And then I get 18 plus 15 is 33, plus 1 makes 34. So that's going to be the F composition G of X. And so what I'd like you to do is pause the video real quick and see if you can come up with G composition F. And so go ahead and pause your video and then come back to me when you've got it. So this one says that I'm going to put F first. So F is going to be first, and then I'm going to plug that into the G function. And so my F of X is 2x squared minus 5x plus 1. So that means substituting for F of X, I'm going to have G of 2x squared minus 5x plus 1. And then that means in my G function, wherever I see X, I'm going to replace it with this trinomial. So that's going to be 2 times 2x squared minus 5x plus 1, and then minus 3. Distributing the 2, we get 4x squared minus 10x plus 2 minus 3. And so we end up with 4x squared minus 10x minus 1. So now you can see they are not the same. So what I'd like you to do next is go ahead and give number 6 a try. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the work on my own real quick. So it'll give you just a couple seconds and then the answers will pop up, but try it on your own first. All right, so here is the work for the first portion. So F composition G means G of X goes first, and then we're going to substitute it into F. So that means I want F of 3X, which means wherever I see X in my F equation, I'm going to substitute it with 3X. Now, one thing to make sure of is we're not just cubing the X, we're also cubing the 3. So 3X to the third power is 3 cubed, which is 27, times X cubed. And over here, 3x squared is 3 squared, which is 9, times x squared. And then that would be the simplified version. So again, pause it and see if you can do the other way, G of F. Right, so here it is worked out. So that means F of X is closer. So we're going to substitute F of X into the G function. So that means wherever I see X in the G function, I'm going to substitute it with what F of X is equal to. And in this case, I just needed to distribute the 3, and then I had my final answer. So what I want you to notice is if we ever take a test or an assessment on this, F of X or F composition G of X and G composition F of X are not the same. So if I ever ask you for both answers, you have to be specific as to which one is which. So I hope you enjoyed today's lesson.